As a creator with a public presence on the internet, I get a lot of emails, and usually it's, questions about music or something I've shared, or what is that cool glowy blobby thing on your desk. But in the last couple years, I've noticed an exponential rise in a very specific email. It goes something like this. Hello, Venus. I'm a musician or artist or whatever. I've been doing this for some number of years, blah, 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 blah. Now AI exists, and what's the point in me doing anything? And I think that sucks on every single layer of existence. But as the self-appointed hairy, thinky man of music and stuff on the internet and aspiring millennial core hipster barista, I have some thoughts I would like to share with the class, if you'll indulge me, when it comes to the question that I guess now defines people as modern artists. What do you do when AI makes better stuff than you?
Okay, so here's the thing. I just want to drop this and be quick about it. I don't want to go on like a long triad about what's what. I'm gonna tell you something that like nobody's gonna tell you. Like nobody's gonna be upfront honest with you about. When you're making music, whether it's art, whether it's whatever it is, the entire reason why you should be making that thing is because it's something that you want to make. Um, if you're in all of this to get rich quick, you think you can drop a single and make $1 million and become famous and get all of this validation and support and like your music career is gonna like suddenly shoot through the roof, uh, you know, and you're just gonna make it and become famous and whatever. All of that is horseshit. It's all lies. And there are like only one or two ways that typically like that plays out, right? Like either you're providing something that somebody needs, which is one, and by that I mean like, um, you know, you're out there doing sets or creating music or you're doing something that sounds really good that a company can hear and they're like, hey, we can make a lot of money on this, or we can use this thing, this music or this piece of art as a set piece that will ultimately turn into more money for us in the long run. So that's really where it's at. Like it's either that or two, you're coming into the game and you already have a ton of money, um, like just saved up or whatever, and that's what you're going to use to market your career. Now, if you're just some Joe in a garage band with no money, um, I have I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're probably you have a snowball's chance in hell of becoming famous, making $1 million, you know, any of that. Like you're probably just going to be playing music for a very long time. And chances are, if you've been doing gigs and nobody's noticed you, and you've been doing this for a while, chances are you're just not going to make it. Like, um, this isn't how things were like 25 years ago, right? Like when I was younger, um, like you could go watch live sets and see scouts show up from like record companies that were like they're ready to sign somebody. Like that's what a lot of these people would do is they would come into these clubs or whatever. They would watch somebody play a set. They would watch them, um, you know, and then if they like what they had, then they would sign them onto a label or whatever. And most of the money that they would get out of this is mostly from touring, um, like doing concerts, stuff like that. and then merch sales. Like, and even today, and you'll see this being said by like other people too. Even today, stream numbers mean nothing. You're never going to get rich on Spotify plays. You're never going to get rich on YouTube plays. Like, you'll make some money, maybe a little bit of money, but you're never going to be in a position where you're going to make $1 million off of a song that you released on a streaming platform. Most platinum artists, the check that they get cut from Spotify is embarrassingly low. And most people won't tell you that because they have an ego and they think that by telling you this, that somehow it makes whatever product they're providing you lesser than. So, where they really make the money is concert sales, sponsorships, selling merch on said concerts. Um, you know, they can make upwards of, you know, $10 million just doing one show and selling a bunch of merch, combined with ticket sales and all that. And most of that money, that's going to be where they're going to pocket most of the money that they're making. But like I said, you're never gonna, and this is what's hilarious. This is what I find funny about a lot of the people that abuse AI and they try to like scam the system and like dump a bunch of songs uh, onto streaming services. Is it's such a dumb thing to do because you're never gonna make your money back. You will never make your money back if you're just out there prompting a bunch of songs, you did no work whatsoever, you just took it directly from Sunos and then uploaded it directly, into your whatever distributor platform or whatever, right? Like, it's going to cost you more money to advertise this stupid song that you posted than you're ever going to make back from any of the streaming services. You're never going to make enough money back through Spotify. You're never going to make enough money back through uh, YouTube revenue. Like, it's just not going to happen. And then not only that, but to boot, like if you're the type of person that you think that you can trick a bunch of people into using your music and then copyright striking them and then using that as like some sort of a game, like where you're going to make some money or whatever, because I've seen people do this as well. And I have news for you. Those people will just delete the video. They do not care. Um, you can copyright strike, whatever, whatever. Your music doesn't mean enough for them, like, to jeopardize their channel. And they make more money than you do, probably, anyways. So they're just going to delete the video and move on. Like, that's how that's going to work. So, yeah, it's not worth it to be dumb. It's not worth it to play games. It's not worth it to be stupid. If you're just here to capitalize on AI and do literally nothing creative whatsoever, like I've seen people that they're not even writing their own lyrics. They're just you know a metal band that sounds good, blah 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 blah. And they use the same words, whatever, in the same prompt, and they don't bother with anything, and then uh, they don't even try to EQ it once they get the file. They just direct upload it, and it sounds horrible. You can hear the static the whole time, like like that. There's like a weird static layer that's over everything. You can hear it, and it doesn't sound good whatsoever. I mean, it's so low effort, so stupid. The music doesn't sound good, and like I said, by uploading a million songs like that are just trash AI songs that nobody's ever going to listen to, um, you know, uh, and that's the funny part. Like you're not actually doing anything of value other than throwing your own money away and hurting other people's actual like music, like whatever it is that they want to do.
This may be a little bit of a cold shower here, but ultimately, art has been down a long and troubled road of being turned into simply a commodity. And when it comes to things like music, you know, the lo-fi hip-hop to study to and whatever that you flick on while you do the dishes, just like a dishwasher is a more efficient appliance to finish these theoretical dishes, the AI art generators are a more efficient appliance for filling this utilitarian side of art. So I think the existential question facing a lot of artists here of what makes their art good against the work of these perfect machines lies in supposing that their work is a utility and not art as an identity. Real art invites conversation. I think that's something we can all agree on. Yeah, and AI art is a lot like trying to have a conversation with an incredibly realistic statue of a human. It's certainly a signal, but it's not real communication. And when it comes to the average listener, in the case of music, now this very composite average version of everything has become infinite, it's instantaneous, and it's basically free. But average isn't interesting. So as a musician, I guess you have to ask yourself, are you making your music to be heard, or are you making it to be listened to? I think there's a very hard distinction between the two that people forget to sit down and draw to some extent. So maybe what I'm trying to say here is, and this might be a little bit spicy, maybe AI art didn't kill your career as an artist. Maybe it just raised the bar of how interesting your work needs to be to yourself.
Okay, so I think Venus Theory is correct on this. I think mediocrity has gone too far, and I think AI is the correction of that. Now, there's some caveats to this. So, and here's the thing, like, if you're thinking about just going out there right now and dropping a rap album and thinking like you're gonna get rich and famous and all this stuff, like, you and there's like a million other people are all trying to do this, and I can guarantee you it's not gonna work. Because that's not how any of this works, right? Like, most people don't make money on streams. Like, if you ask any like major music producer that's out there, right? Like, how much they make on streams, they don't make a whole lot. Like, most of the money that they make is going to be through concerts. It's going to be through like going out and selling tickets, right? Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, Taylor Swift's out there selling like $600 tickets, and she's filling entire arenas, right? Like, this is where her money's coming from. This is how she makes her money, right? She doesn't make money on Spotify streams. Like, that entire idea is just a giant misconception. This whole, like, and this is the funniest thing. Like, I've been lied and gaslit to so many times by like losers on Reddit that think they know the music industry, who don't know a damn thing about it. You know, they want to be on there and pretend they're some big wig and blah, blah, blah. They don't know anything. They're full of shit. Most of them are just liars, right? So don't trust any of these people when they tell you like what's up with like streaming and all this stuff, and how they're making tons of money and they can support their entire life and pay their rent just on their platinum rap album. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. Okay? If you drop a platinum rap album, I have news for you. You're going to be making less than $10,000. And that's probably not going to support you for an entire year, right? Spotify revenue means nothing. Like, it's pennies. It's nothing. If you talk to any producer, like, that's one of the number one things that I've heard is like, just if you accidentally use somebody's beat or whatever in your music, just give them your royalties, because royalties don't mean anything, right? Like, that's kind of the joke. Like, you know, the joke is like, you can literally steal copyrighted material, just give them the royalties, right? Because the royalties mean nothing on Spotify, Because when you go to a concert and you sell $600 tickets and you sell 50,000 tickets, right? Like, that's a lot of money, right? That's way more money than anything you're ever going to make on Spotify, right? So, anyways, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but the thing is ultimately at the end of the day, if your idea of making things is to get rich and famous, you're not going to get rich and famous. So you should stop trying to get rich and famous by like making music, or whatever it is that you're doing as an artist. Like, you should focus on the art is what you should do. Focus on what you're making and just have fun making it. Like, and here's the thing. If you go, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna play this entire video like from Venus Theory. I suggest go listen to his video. Like, go listen to the full video, right? On his channel. And the reason I suggest that is because there's a certain point in the video where he starts talking about, like, you know, if you had a house fire and all of your instruments burned up in the house fire, right? Like would you replace them, right? And if the answer is yes, then you're an artist, right? Because it's about making things, right? If your house burns down and you don't replace anything and you just don't want to continue being an artist, like, cool. Like, that's fine too. You can choose to not do that. But the thing is it's very telling about why you're making a thing. Are you making a thing because you want recognition and fame and you want money? Well, if that's all you want, you're never going to make anything. You're never going to make anything that's worth anything, at least. You know what I mean? You're just going to make a bunch of slop. That's what you're going to make. And because you're going to be constantly chasing the big new sound, trying to reach the same levels as all these other people, you know, and you're just going to keep floating through charted territory. You're never going to make anything unique. You're never going to make anything creative. You're never going to make anything new. You're never going to make anything that's like genre defining. You know, and that's ultimately where you're going to land. You're going to land in a position where you're making the same old slop that everybody's heard 1,000 times, and when your like 500th rap track pops up on SoundCloud, right? Like, everybody's already heard it. They've heard that rap track. They've heard the 500 before it. They all just sound the same. You know, and I'm not trying to tell you to give up, but what I'm trying to tell you to do is that if you're trying to make a thing, keep doing it, keep refining it, keep making it better and better and better. And it's okay to be mediocre, right? But when you're mediocre and you've given up and you're not trying to improve anymore, you're not trying to make the new thing, you're not trying to put something out there that's like interesting, that speaks for you as an artist, and you're just out there posting slop all the time, well, then you're kind of boring. You're kind of over. Like, nobody wants to waste their time with that. You know what I mean? And that's the attitude of people that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, that's the attitude of losers, right? Like, if you're just going to be there, you're going to be chasing the same old slop that everybody's heard 1,000 times over. Well, you're never going to make anything that anybody actually cares about. Go make something new. You know what I mean? Go make something that nobody's heard before. You know, go make a country track with a dubstep drop in the middle of it. You know, like, go do something fun, right? You know, go do something stupid that nobody thought would sound good but does. You know what I mean? You know, go do those things. But I will say, though, I do think another like perspective on this is when I look at like mediocre slop that needs to go away, Hollywood 100% there, right? Like the Borderlands movie, the Minecraft movie, all these like horrible ass movies that they've been putting out. It's honestly worse than like the Pocket FM commercials that I keep seeing on YouTube, like oh, Quinn, the loser nerd guy who's like a vampire sorcerer from Harry Potter's School of Vampires, lost his girlfriend for the 900th time this week to some other Giga Chud vampire sorcerer thing. Like cringe Bollywood, like just bad writing in general. Like, and that's the same level that Hollywood is operating on right now, and it just needs to stop. Like, it needs to go away, and we need to stop like supporting it. When it comes to that mediocrity, like, yeah, it's got to go, man. Like, no more of that. Like, it just let it die, you know. And it'll be a good thing too, because once that dies, like nobody will have a choice. Like the only people that'll be left are indie artists, right? So, you know what I mean. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I think that's what we need. We need to move on, and I think hopefully AI can help make indie artists and bring them up to that like professional level. You know what I mean? Because it's a tool. Like use it. Like, I'm not saying you have to, like, just prompt slop a bunch of things and then just create AI garbage, right? Like, but use it to create, like, rough outlines, or rough drafts and outlines and concepts of what you're trying to do, and then make those things. Like, you don't have to publish AI. Like, use AI to help you make the thing that you're wanting to make, and then from there make the thing on your own, right? Like, okay, here's the thing that nobody's ever considered. And let me just put this out there. There's a bunch of people that are like, oh, I hate AI art because it's taking away from indie artists. Well, my question is, what if you use AI to create an image, and then after you create an image, you pull out a piece of carbon paper and you stencil that entire image onto paper? Is it still AI slop? I mean, you drew it on paper. You know what I mean? So, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you can use AI to do things, like, and it's not AI slop. It's very clearly still your own work. It took creativity to think of the prompt in the first place. Like, just use your creativity to make things. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you use AI. Like, and anybody that does say that they do care that you're using AI, they don't. What they're really mad about is they think that you've pulled the wool over their eyes and tricked them, right? Like, that's really what it is. Like, they think you've bamboozled them, right? Like, and if anybody's fault, that's their fault for being dumb and gullible enough to feel that way, right? Like, but the thing is like, really what you should do is, and here's the thing, if you are going to use AI, be honest about it. Just tell people you use AI. Like, there's no, like, even if they're mean and rude to you, like, cool, block them. Screw those people. Like screw them, screw their opinions. You don't need them holding you down. Like, let them expose themselves for what they are. They're a bunch of hypocrites, and they're just there to be angry, right? And if that's all they're going to do, and they're going to try to drag you down, just block them. Like, cool. Like, that's all it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, if you do use AI, like I said, like, you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't feel like if you admit to using AI, that somehow it invalidates whatever it is that you're working on, right? It doesn't. AI is a tool, and it's going to show up in your work, right? if you make slop, if you use a lot of slop and you're working on slop all the time, guess what? It's going to be slop, right? Like that's how all of this stuff works out. That example, the perfect example is that stupid Pocket FM ad that's always on YouTube, right? Like you listen to the ad and what is it, right? Like it's all these, cringe stories that are horrible, right? And it's because somebody outsourced their intelligence and their thinking to AI, and they had AI write a script, and it made slop. And then they copy pasted the slop into making videos, and then the videos are slop. So now you just have Pocket FM, the slop app, right? Like that makes AI slop, and that's what it is. So, you know what I mean? If you don't want that in your work, don't do that. Use your brain. Be creative. You know what I mean? Don't let AI think for you. Don't let AI create scripts for you. Don't let AI steal your creativity from you, right? Because ultimately, the only way that you're going to stay creative is if you keep doing creative things and you keep getting creative. And if you're not doing that because you're outsourcing it to AI, the only person you're hurting is yourself. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let Venus Series still going to say a bunch of stuff. Most of it I agree with. It's not like a complete and total endorsement of Venus Theory, but like a lot of what he says I agree with, right? Like I'm not so like hard pressed that like I think like there's not some common ground between all of us, right? Like I enjoy working on AI stuff. I enjoy working on workflows. I enjoy working on all this stuff. I enjoy like posting things that people can use, right? Like whether that's music, whether it's AI, whether it's whatever. Like, hey, like that's what I'm here for, right? Like, I just hope that you can find like some use in the stuff that I'm posting, right? Or at least entertainment, right? So, but anyways, I'll leave it here, and then I'll let him continue on and finish up the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. All right, thank you.
To very, very briefly summarize a guest lecture I've given at a lot of schools and speaking events, I think that as artists, what we chase and the dragon that we're after is not actually perfection, it's just novelty and the pursuit of ideas that we find interesting to ourselves. And in a way, this is why I'm glad this AI shit exists and that it's such a problem right now, because the second you dare to have an original idea or just a weird little gremlin thought and put that into something, you rise above the infinite noise floor of all of the completely average bullshit out there. And that's a really powerful thought, and I think something that can not only make this one of the most interesting times to be an artist, but one of the most valuable. I think what I'm trying to get at with all this is that now, maybe more than ever, anything as an artist you do that is unique or new or random or weird or just kind of interesting has become inherently valuable again, and it's solved that fundamental supply and demand problem we've all been all too familiar with. And by taking these things that are maybe even an accident or whatever and excising them to the point of intention, we now separate ourselves from the infinite wave of NPCs we maybe find ourselves up against in the interconnected world of the internet and stuff. And I think that idea is pretty fucking cool. Yeah? As much as I hate to say it, music is what feelings sound like. It's a very self-helpy bullshit sounding thing, but it is true, and I think it's a beautiful sentiment now against the ocean of AI slop we all find ourselves drowning in, and the cruise ships on top of this ocean of garbage piloted by prompters masquerading as artists proper. I think what I'm trying to get across in all this, and what I hope I do in this video, is that your undeniable power as an artist is to find things people are not looking at and shove it right in their faces. And that's something that a prompt really cannot do, because it requires you to live in service of only what you truly feel. AI art is here. It exists, and that sucks. Things could be better, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom here. Real art exists as a result of the human condition, and I think ultimately human limitation. AI art is the most perfect and frictionless form of what something could be. And maybe there's a weird doomerist take on all of that and our innate desire to destroy our need to be creative, but maybe that's a different video. What I'm trying to say here is that everything you make is the result of whatever it is that you've experienced and distilled into your own taste. Maybe you're not such a great guitar player, but because you're not such a great guitar player, you have to find a weird way to work around the chords you can't play, and through doing that, you discover the you in your own work. And hot fucking take here, Suno's not gonna do that for you. Okay, it's like 40 degrees, I'm freezing, I need to get out of here, so TLDR time. Real art invites things like introspection and speculation and critique, and generative AI art is just a flawless, perfect form of whatever it was told to be, or it is not. It's truly that binary. Real art is a Rorschach test of the soul, if you will, in that you get out of it whatever it is you want to get out of it, and sometimes it's nothing at all because it's just not that good, and yeah, that's pretty fair. The inconvenient truth that every AI simp on the internet seems to spend their lives and obsession tap dancing around in little circles is that AI art is not a window, it's just a mirror. It's this big dog and pony show packaged and sold to you as a convenient monthly subscription, as though it's an outlet, when in reality it is nothing more than an artifice of its own design. Generative AI art, hot take here incoming, cannot, will not, and won't ever fucking be anything more than an output. It is not actual human expression. The end. I guess what I'm saying here is, what I learned in boating school is that the machine doesn't care. It knows exactly what art is. It has no reason and no ability to question what it could be. End of story.